So what you're about to see may cause you to question my judgment too. And
really?
You may think it's one of the most ridiculous things that you've seen in a while. Alright, well today we want to show you the process of redoing the outside of our camper. Some would say, who cares?
Why?
Why would you do that?
I mean, maybe I was in that crowd.
That's 2 weeks of your life you'll never get back. But I think, as the kids say, it was incredibly satisfying and has turned out awesome. We're not quite done, we're really close.
Which one of the kids said that?
They've all said it. Especially when we were putting on the new graphics and they're like, that's so satisfying. And I'm like, why do you say that? But I think it was worth the endless hours of taping and masking and painting and all of that. So today we want to back up, show you the process, where we started with the outside of this camper, the steps we went through. It's not gonna be like a tutorial. I do have a blog post if you want to see like all the specifics of the things that we used for it. And so we'll just give kind of a general overview of like literally how we've spent the last 2 weeks.
Pretty much every minute of it.
All right, so like I said, we didn't have to do this, but the graphics, here's what was deceiving about the graphics, like the stickers that were already on the camper. This is a 2013 camper. It's not actually that old, but the way the graphics had faded, and I think it was just the design.
The previous owners didn't store it inside ever. This camper sat outside from day one, every single day, winter, summer, all of it. Mm-hmm. And so it got as faded as it could get.
And from what we could tell, it didn't look like it had ever really been waxed, or, you know, usually you can see evidence like around the windows or stripes or stuff if there's been wax put on it before.
I don't think it ever had anything done.
So it was very dull, but it also just had these like very ugly koalas on it, because it's a Skyline camper, but the like model was koala for whatever reason.
And there were these extremely ugly koalas on it.
It wasn't even just that. It was like they were like this like black and white, really pixely. Anyways.
And then by how it faded, it made it look even worse. Yeah.
So we had felt like we went through all this. Well, I had felt. I'm not gonna. Tom wanted nothing to do with this. I had felt like we went through all this work of making the inside look really nice. We'd repaired the water damage. We had made it look cute. We redid the bedroom, and the outside did not represent that at all. The outside just looked kind of cheesy and old. So that's why I wanted to redo it. When we had gone to other campgrounds, we saw these beautiful campers, and I just thought ours could be prettier. So
Dawn had shiny camper envy.
Exactly. So the first step was to remove the graphics that we didn't want anymore. So we wanted to take off the actual koalas and where it said koala. So we got a 3M stripe off wheel, and it's like a rubber wheel that kind of just like rubs off the graphics. Or how would you describe it?
Yeah, I don't know what it actually is. Yeah, it removes it really fast.
So that part actually, well, what we found was that like right when Tom started,
the wheel had a tint of like yellow and orange to the wheel itself, and for whatever reason it would leave like a orangish burnt look.
Yeah. The first side we started with, the graphics weren't as sun-baked on, so those actually came off pretty well. And then especially when Tom went back and like buffed it and waxed it and all of that, you really couldn't tell where those old graphics were. So we were really happy with that. Then Tom moved around to the front side, and if I recall correctly, where it was parked at their house, that side was facing south and seemed to get the most sun.
Yeah, the front was fried. Like the graphics, you could tell just looking around the camper, the front was burnt.
All right, here we're gonna work on the front. We're taking off the Skyline because it's kind of coming off anyway. And then we're gonna take off this koala part. And then we're gonna buff the whole thing. So this, I did just this section here. But I'll do the entire front of the whole camper. Well, we'll do all the sides. And then I see I'm missing a marker cover. I gotta get one of those. So here's the before. All right, well, the koala came off really fine. We'll have to figure out, I think when I buff it all, this should come off. But what we've been noticing is anything with brown or like really baked on doesn't want to come off. Well, this like really didn't want to come off. So Don's not here right now, so I think I'm gonna just keep taking it off, and we're gonna have to figure out something to do there, because that does not look good. But neither does the koala, so we'll work on keep going. All right, that's all dirt and dust and stuff from taking the stickers off. There's still a silhouette there, but I'm gonna try and get rid of that when I buff the front. So that's done. Now I'm gonna take the koala and the branch off of here.
So we took off some of the graphics, the koalas and the words koala, but most of them we wanted to just leave. I wanted to just leave, and I had seen this method where you could spray paint them. And there's a gentleman that did a very thorough tutorial, so I will link to that. And so I got his products, I followed his steps because I wanted this to turn out well, and we are planning on selling it, right? So I never want it to be a liability for anybody else. So if we're gonna do something, like, it needs to be done well. And so after watching his video, I felt very confident that we could mimic it and that it would last and it would look good. So Tom has this front section of the camper all waxed and buffed and cleaned up. So I want to start masking it off so that we can try painting it. But I just noticed one problem. I want to do the graphics in black and then a darker gray. But the gray we got, I just realized, is like practically the same color as the camper. We took a picture of it and brought it with us last night to the store, but this is just really too light, so I'm trying to decide if I'll just do both of these front ones in black. The bummer is that the graphics, now that they're cleaned up, are actually still in really good condition, and they shined up. Not all of them, the one up there didn't, but this one, these ones shined up again. They're just really ugly. And so, I mean, we could potentially leave it, but because we've updated the inside and all of that, I just want to go this extra step and make them look nice. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and start masking it off, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do about the paint color. So this involves taking this little skinny masking tape, and you first go around the perimeter of the graphic with this because they curve, so this bends with it. And then you put a wider strip of the blue masking tape, and then you lightly sand the graphic so that it adheres well to the paint. And then you get your masking paper and you put that on, and then you paint it, and then you put on a clear coat. And so it was
every side of the camper.
To every graphic, to every little swoosh thing that you see. All right, so we have it all masked off. Luckily it's like, yeah, Tom's gonna do some artwork. So we're gonna do this stripe black. And it's not windy hardly at all today, so hoping it's not gonna like...
Well, right now it's not, but it may. I actually think it's supposed to rain today.
No, I mean at this moment. I feel like we have enough of a perimeter of masking that it should be okay. And Tom's a professional spray painter.
Just check out my YouTube channel if you think otherwise.
Yeah. So the guy in the video said he just did a few light coats, like really light coats. Now the wind's picking up and it's getting cold out. So Tom, this is the third coat we're gonna put on.
Awesome.
All right, so we were just talking about what we want to do for colors, because I was just thinking grays and blacks for the decals. But what color do you want to think we should add in?
Well, you look at all the new campers and they all have blue and gray and white. So I think add some blue and white into it.
Okay. I'm afraid white will look too new compared to still...
I think if you have some white swooshes in with everything else, that's not the case. I think it'll look extremely current.
So we're gonna go, since the gray didn't even work out anyway, so we got, we'll go to the store, look for some blue paint.
All right. Oh, it has to be bright blue though. I know you don't want bright blue.
Oh, I don't want bright blue.
It has to be bright blue.
Because you don't think a grayish blue would look good?
No. It has to speak something, not blend in. It has to say something. It has to say happy and fun, like blue masking tape. So bring some blue masking tape with you and get that same color.
I just don't like looking at this. I like the pop of blue, but
Tom knows how to make anything with wheels look good. Okay?
Yeah.
There you go. You get the house, I get anything with wheels.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
So Tom buffed it first, waxed it, buffed it, all that, and then I went back and did this. And it took a very long time, like as you can probably imagine.
It
like
took a really
this
long
is very
time.
tedious. I got pretty fast at it after a while. And again, I enjoy this kind of stuff. Like it was actually fun for me. It was parked outside. I would go work on it when I had time, and I thoroughly actually enjoyed every single minute of working on it. So
I know, isn't that weird?
You can totally think it's weird. The other thing was I was just planning on doing gray and black for the color scheme for the outside, and then Tom was like, "That is like so boring and dumb."
You need a blue. Like you
Yeah.
look at new campers and they all have like a really deep or a brighter blue in them.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you want to make it more modern, like add a blue to it.
And so my only concern with going with like too bright of a blue is like, and I was just like, it's still not a brand new camper. And so I don't want it to look like someone was trying to make an old camper look like a brand new camper, and if it wasn't going to turn out. So we went back and forth.
I think everybody would have liked it.
I think now we went back and forth. I chose the Nantucket blue, but in hindsight, I think we should have probably done the brighter blue.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I do.
But we're not retaping all this off.
We're not retaping
like,
it.
No,
The first thing we did was like the smile on the front, that one in blue, and we kept going back and forth. And then I told him, I'm like, spray the bright blue on. He's like, no, you don't like it. Whatever. We left it the Nantucket blue, got all the everything peeled off, and I'm like, I think the brighter blue would look better, but we're not retaping it. So it is what it is. And it kind of looked like an Amazon box, like the Amazon Arrow. So we did choose that blue, but I do think maybe a brighter blue would be better.
A brighter blue would have looked better on here. The one thing I do have to say about this color, I think it's a teal, not a blue, but I do think the one thing about it is this color kind of matches the inside of the camper more, so...
I do agree with that, too. It's just a little more muted. And...
Yeah, but I do think it should have been a bright blue. Just I want...
Yeah.
Put it down not in the comments, put it in the description.
Team Tom.
Description, Tom wanted bright blue.
Yep, Dawn agrees.
Okay.
So.
Hey, it's cold out.
Good morning. So we were just out here trying to brainstorm how to fix the front of the camper with this graphic that does not want to budge.
All right, spin it around and show them. So most of it came off, but like the silhouette was like burned into the the gel coat.
Mm-hmm.
It won't come off.
So we have a mountain scene that we're planning to put across the front, but it's like a silhouette. It's not solid. So we just called our local graphic place in town, and they have white vinyl in stock. So we had thought maybe we would get a piece of white vinyl to put behind it and kind of cut it to kind of fit both the mountains and the curve here that's going on. So Tom was gonna measure, what is the temperature? It is so cold out.
It's 36 degrees.
Oh no.
I know, it's freezing out here right now.
So Tom was just gonna measure quick to see how big of a piece that we need, and then when we get home we would go in the house and lay it out and cut it out because it's too cold out here.
And if you can tell, I already buffed this half.
Yeah.
From there down. I didn't do
That
up there
nice.
yet.
Yeah.
But it should look quite a bit better.
I think it's gonna look awesome. So then we decided to get a sheet of white vinyl to put behind it. The other problem with the mountain graphic was that it was just a really cheap, crappy graphic that I got off of Amazon.
And so when you buy a vinyl graphic of any sort, it should come in a tube and it should be a nice, smooth, round coil of it together. This one was like a crunched, like in a box. And so by it being crunched, when you lay it out flat, it's all wavy. And the clear foil that's across the front that you're supposed to squeegee on to get all the bubbles out, that itself was detached in a lot of spots and wrinkly.
Yeah.
So you could never get a clean swipe of your applicator to get all the bubbles out and get it to lay nice. And so I was super impressed.
And I was like, it'll be fine. We'll start laying it out. It'll be fine. It was not fine. It was not cool. It took a very long time to get it laid out. I had to cut it apart in different sections just to try and get it to lay flat. But we got it onto the white. Luckily, the white was like a nice, heavier vinyl, nicer vinyl. So I feel that it's going to last fine. It's just that it was a gigantic pain in the butt to
put on,
create that graphic. So then I went back and then cut out the white to kind of mimic the mountain and then make a little like water or something or snow, I don't know what it is, in front just to cover up the old koala.
Yeah, the residue
graphics
that was left, yeah.
And so then we put that on, and that challenged our marriage in many ways. It took a long time. It was windy when we were trying to do it. There was bubbles. It looks better than what was there, but
it's not perfect.
It's not perfect,
No.
and it kind of just really frustrated us a lot.
Yeah.
So we would not recommend those graphics. So we just kind of worked our way around, masking them off, taping them off. Tom did the spray painting and worked our way around the camper. And that looked good. It looked better, but it just looked a little incomplete, and there was kind of some gaps where the koalas had been. And so I had ordered some extra graphics off of Etsy. I went higher quality this time, and they were just some like generic like swoops
and stuff.
And so I ordered them in black and charcoal with the hope that they would come and we could use them just to kind of accent and fill in some spaces. So then we just kind of cut them apart and started trying out different places. I wanted to add a little dimension to like the big swoops, because I felt like once they were painted they felt just a little bit flat, and so I wanted to do just like a little shadowing or highlighting with it, and then add in some extras, and I think it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
I'm really happy with how it came out. Like Tom walked out. Tom needed to leave for a while, so I could just kind of play around with the positioning.
I needed to leave because I had an appointment.
Yeah. So he came back over and was like, "Oh, totally didn't even notice like which ones were the painted ones, which ones were the ones that were added on." So I was like,
"Sorry, you made it sound like I left because we were fighting." Like,
he just went in and did nothing for a while.
I had an appointment.
I know. So
they needed to know that. They didn't know.
I know.
Okay.
So Tom had an appointment. Okay. So anyways, he came back out. I was letting the kids help too because that's my parenting style, and I knew if Tom was around, he would be like, "No, don't let them. They're gonna ruin it." So the kids helped, which was super fun. And
we want to sell this for money.
They did great. And those graphics we got were super high quality. They went on great.
Yeah,
I mean,
those did go on.
That took hardly any time at all. And now, like, I don't know. I kind of wonder, Tom, like, in hindsight, would we have gone through the work of painting them, or would we have just taken them all off and just put all new graphics on? There's other methods.
I know, but the only problem with taking them all off is you weren't there while I stripped all the graphics with the strip off wheel. It took a long time. And so I think maybe what we would have done is we would have had a company cut graphics for this and just put graphics over the top of these.
Yeah, just do a whole new graphics kit that just goes right over the top.
Just a little bigger, just right over the top.
Yeah, that maybe would have been a better option.
But
it would have cost more.
I don't know.
Yeah, so...
right, that is the thing. I mean, we have, what, like $100 into this exterior? $150 maybe into
Yeah, maybe $150 with the extra graphics, spray paint, lots of tape. We went through a lot of tape. And many, we won't count our hours of our time. Because again, I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoy
labor's cheap.
Putsy things like this. So, but I'm thrilled with how it turned out. I think it looks awesome, and I feel like now the outside matches the inside, and I hope the next people that buy it think it's super cool.
There's people who are going to comment, and I know what they're going to comment. You are forgetting the one elephant with the camper.
Oh, the delamination?
Yep.
Yeah. Tom's going to fix that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, though, why are we doing this exterior if we're not doing the delam first?
Because I was planning on just doing the exterior myself, and then I took out the stripe off wheel, and Tom's like, "Ooh, let me try that." So.
No, to do the delam repair before we clean.
I know, but I'm just saying, I was just trying to do what I could do without needing you, but then it turned into a team project, which I'm grateful for, because I would still be working on it right now.
I don't know that you would have buffed this thing.
Well, it had to be buffed regardless, so that's what I'm telling myself.
So then you're not even counting that as a...
So I'm super... So I'm really happy with how it...
There's a bird that's bothering Dawn. You hear him?
And so we are going to sell it. Again, the reason we're selling it is we want to get something that is shorter and potentially even a little bit lighter, so we have more flexibility with the vehicle that pulls it, and just
Since
easier.
apparently that's an issue.
Like, we really want to go to national parks and stuff. I mean, all the places we went this past winter was fine size-wise for this, but to kind of go out more to like national parks and stuff, I think it would just be a little bit easier to have something a little more compact.
You guys know the little bear stories. Was it little bear?
Yeah, too small, too
Was it
big,
bear, or
just
was it
right.
sheep, or was it pigs? What was it?
Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Too small, too big, just right.
Yeah. So that's our hope, is just to have something that's just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's why we're selling it, and because that's what we do. Like, we just enjoy. I enjoy
A lot of
projects
people don't
like this.
understand this, but it is what we do.
Yeah, it's just test it out, make it a little bit better, send it on its way.
Yeah,
So,
buy it cheap, do some
Yeah.
repairs, send it away.
Yep.
Wait, the next one will not have repairs.
no, I agree that the next camper can have no projects.
Okay.
Like, we just hook it up to the truck and we go camping. Like, I would really like that, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say we kind of have enough other things going on that we don't need to fix another camper.
Yeah. But then I did see
Oh man, this is where the video ends. Bye guys.
Proverbs 31 girl on Instagram just got an old camper, and she is potentially going to make it into a she shed, which I was like, that's so fun. So I'm like, what if we have our camper for camping, but then we find like an old one to fix up and sell, but make it a she shed? Like, wouldn't that be super
I don't know
cool?
that sounds.
What do you all think? Do you think that would be like a fun thing to do with a camper? Because I think there's a lot of people where it's like everyone's home right now, and it would be nice to have a place of your own to go to.
Are you talking for other people or for us? Because we have other places.
Yeah, no, we would sell it.
Oh,
We'd fix it up and sell it.
Okay, that doesn't sound like any fun.
So
Just
we'll see.
saying.
We'll see. Gotta let these ideas roll around a little before we get Tom on board with them.
That is what you do.
You know.
Yeah.
So we just have a few more things to do on the inside to be like totally ready to sell it. I want to spruce up the bathroom a little bit. Tom wants to just like be done.
Leave
with
it alone, Dawn.
Done. Like, gotta draw the line somewhere.
No one actually cares.
Yeah. So we'll see. But there'll just be like a little touching
I
up.
think you guys know what's gonna happen.
Little touching up on the inside, and really there's not much left to do on the inside.
D-lam.
And then Tom needs to work on the D-lam, and then we'll send it on its way to its new home. But thank you for joining us. Even if you think this is silly.
Ridiculous. Unnecessary.
That's fine. We can still be friends. But we hope you have a great weekend. We'd love to know what you're up to. Are you painting anything this weekend? So we hope you have a great weekend. We love you, and we will see you again soon.
Bye-bye.